First order of business. Somebody left these sweet glassy sunglasses in my room. I don't know who it was, who they belong to. If you want them back, you got to come wrestle me for them because I think I look like young Tom Cruise with these things on. But seriously, this video is not about glassy sunglasses. Although they are a little bit better made than the cheap like Death Wish, Independent, Spitfire, Chocolate, similar style, based on the old Ray-Ban Wayfarer. They're a little bit better quality. Not excellent. Whatever, they're cheap sunglasses. Anyways, this is actually about lurkers when you're skateboarding. Skating with some friends at this ledge spot yesterday. Yeah. And we call it the homeless ledge because it's near the homeless shelter, and frequently when you show up at the homeless ledge, there will be homeless people reading books, taking naps, eating food, conversing with one another. Sometimes it's a little sketchy, but for the most part, they're pretty cool. No real problems. So yesterday we were skating there, and we got in a couple of tricks. There was one guy sitting there reading while he was listening to his Walkman or Discman or whatever. It wasn't an iPod, and I know he had the old wraparound headphones. No big deal. We skated. I assume he got a little bit annoyed. He left. He went back to the homeless shelter and found a spot to sit down and read, and that's fine. No big deal. And then 10 minutes later, a little pack of dudes starts walking over up the street, and they just kind of stop, and they're watching us skate, and they moved closer until they're almost right on top of us, and they just sat there and they watched us skate, and it got to the point where there was always one of us in the road watching for traffic. And it got to the point where cars would turn on their blinker like they were going to come down this road, and then they would not come down the road because they saw so many people standing there. They were like, well, clearly there's something going on here. We'll just go up to the next road and, make a right there instead. So that was kind of cool. It made the traffic less hectic. There's a bank right across the street, and rather than pulling out onto the road that we were skating, they would go around the building and go out the other way. And then a little while later, a group of, I think it was 4 or 5 little kids on like Walmart BMX bikes pull up, and they're kind of hiding behind the bushes watching. And then all of a sudden I hear some kid, what did he say? It was, oh shit, that goes hard, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's just one of my friends trying to kickflip this like, it's over belly button high ledge, okay? It's not super high, it's not super low. It's into the street, so it's got the uphill landing. Street spot, So the kids are freaking out, and some of the kids are kind of like avoiding talking to any of these people. But when I'm walking by and they're like, oh, you almost got that. That was good. That was cool. Stuff like this. I'm like, yeah. Making a little bit of conversation with them. I'm not saying much, but I'll give them a sentence or two every time I'm setting back up for my trick. Some of the other people were completely avoiding them. They even put in their iPods so they couldn't hear the guys. And some people just get really weirded out by non-skaters watching them skateboard. But to be honest, I would rather have people that don't skateboard watching me skateboard than people that do. Because I feel like people that do skateboard, when they watch it, they're picking apart every little thing. They're like, oh, He stutter stepped on his run up here, and then he didn't set his feet up properly for the trick, and then he landed and his arms did this too much, and his toe almost touched, or his hands touched, or whatever. But when a regular person watches it, they're enjoying just the excitement of the entire thing. I mean, even just this little ledge, they see us jumping off it, they're like, wow, I wouldn't do that. I'd be afraid I'm going to bust my ass. One guy said, I would try it, but I don't want to skin up my knee. I'm like, skin up your knee? Dude, I wish that was the worst that happened. But, some people really get weirded out by it. I'm okay with it. I'm curious as to how you guys feel about it and some of the stories that you've got, because I've had people watch me for like an extended period of time. Then all of a sudden they get on their cell phone and they disappear. And they don't come back, and then 10 minutes later the cops show up after you think this person was, being cool, watching you and, just enjoying the show or whatever. Different things can happen. But for the most part, if somebody's showing an interest in you and they're not being overly aggressive right away, they're not trying to entrap you into staying there so that they can, get the cops out there. Just my personal, take on the entire situation. But I want to know what you guys think about it. I want to know how you feel. So take it to the comment section. I'll do my best to respond to them as much as I can. And, my viewers also enjoy talking to new people and old people alike. Check it out. See what happens.